I like to start off with a little fun fact here. This phone here, we all have one or two or three of those. It is 1 million times cheaper and 1 million times smaller, right, and 1,000 times more powerful than the $60 million supercomputer was in the 70s. Add that up, and you have a 1 billion-fold increase in power and price and performance, and it's just not stopping. This is an amazing period that we live in today, and I'm so excited to be not only in the industry at this point in time, but in the technological aspects of our world. Okay, when you look at the universe, I used to think that was the biggest thing possible, but it's not. Somebody told me something about imagination. All right, our imagination is much bigger than the universe is, and our imagination isn't what we think, but it's how we think. All right. So, let me tell you about the Internet of Things. All right, I can imagine that one day we a connected car. All right, and and it's connected to, it's connected to everything. But I'm driving down, and think about this: it's late at night, and you're driving, or it's driving you, and you're getting tired, and all of a sudden the car says to you, because it's talking to you, it says, we've been driving for 4 hours now, and I see that there's a 4-star hotel about 5 miles up the road. Would you like me to reserve a room for the night? Okay, yeah. Or think about this: you're sitting in traffic on the way home, and the vehicle says to you, it's going to take us about 2 hours to get home in this traffic. But, and we need an oil change here. So therefore, there's a shop at the next exit. Would you like to go and have it? And they have availability. There's no waiting. So what we can do is we can go pull in there, and by the time we're finished, we'll just be able to scoot on home. All right. So that's the kind of thing we're talking about. Okay, but the car is connected to the infrastructure. This is extremely important. All right, and we've had a lot of the speakers talk about it, but this is extremely important. Not just, we're talking about the roadway, this kind of infrastructure, the bridges, other buildings, businesses. We think about the normal things: traffic lights, parking garages, right? Electric signs, other vehicles. It's one of the coolest things about it is the fact that, we can't see around the corner, but the vehicle, if everything's connected to the infrastructure, the vehicle can see around the corner. And then I have the ... That's your imagination. Think about anything. All right? And that's an extremely important thing. Also, now, imagine you're in an accident. Well, the car can automatically notify emergency vehicles and others. Who are those others? Well, you're in a car, you're going someplace, right? And so therefore, what? You are going to meet somebody, probably. They need to be notified. Your loved ones. Right? That's a very important thing. The last thing you're thinking about. Now, the numbers have talked, and I'm not going to go into any detail, but the first notice of loss, and earlier speakers talked about everyone's fighting for that first notice of loss. Now, this is where self-diagnostics, all right, is going to tell you what's wrong with it. It's going to be able to tell you what's wrong with it, all right? And estimating, self-estimating. Right? Earlier this week, I talked to someone who is involved with scan tools, and they said, never going to happen. Never going to happen. Well, it will. Same thing with the estimate. Never going to happen. Well, it will. All right? Because you think about the fact, you say, well, okay, what happens if? What happens if? The very first thing, yes, what happens if? The what happens if is the central brain of the vehicle. All right? Is the first thing to get, if it's destroyed, if it's not working properly, it's the very first thing you choose to repair and replace. All right? And once that happens, you can keep going on. All right. Orders a tow. Another one that I didn't have up here, not only orders a tow, but it orders a tow for you. It calls Uber. All right? To get you on to your next place. It could even pre-order parts, so that you're not waiting. And especially since you have, some of the new vehicles, like I think it's a GMC C8, it's all new parts. So there's going to be shortage of parts. All right, and use your imagination. What else? What else can the vehicle do? All right. So if the car is capable of doing all that, what in the world is this repair collision center going to look like? I've always been that little boy looking around the corner saying, what's next? What's coming up? Well, what's it going to look like? Well, we kind of did a survey. I gave a Guild 21 survey, and and we found out that 52%, all right, of the shops have Wi-Fi. It says 48% don't even have Wi-Fi. So how are you going to have all these? I saw, I was just amazed that I saw a torque wrench, but it was actually has Bluetooth. All right, and so what is it? It's all in. This is what I'll call first Gen 1. All right, where we have equipment that's interconnected, internet connected. All right, but it's mainly for preventive maintenance or for maintenance. That's kind of what its use is for. All right, it's not connected to each other or to the vehicle. All right, now look at it. All right, now let's go, and this is the imagine everything is now connected to the vehicle. All right, the vehicle is that. Remember, that first module needs to be replaced. That brain, and once that brain's replaced, it's going to do the scanning, and it's going to tell you. And it can do in a number of ways. We saw, and I forget the gentleman's name, but the augmented reality. That is probably one of the coolest. That's one of the coolest things I see, because and I actually have a set of glasses, but I paid $500 for them. They're not that good, but it's really kind of neat. That is the wave of the future. If you ever get a chance to see that, that's like unbelievable. However, the vehicle itself, right now we have a bunch of disjointed things. The vehicle itself will have its own diagnostics. It'll have its own repair procedures. All right. It will transmit it to that phone. All right. Or wherever. It will actually verify and record and document that all those procedures are done. So if you kind of look at what happens in the world today, in our environment today, we have all these like little silos. All those things will be connected, and they will happen in our lifetime. All right, they will happen in our lifetime. I am thoroughly convinced, and I'm so excited to be part of this industry. And I want to thank you. I'm Fred Iantorno from Verifacts, and I want to thank you for your time. Have a great day.